practice of Holy Communion was given to us by the same sources that gave us name of the Father, Son, and of the Holy. They tell them if you eat it and commit sin, you will die. But didn't somebody make the wine and he tasted it? Some of the bread they use is from bakeries owned by Muslims. The people that mix it don't even believe in God. They are the one mixing the bread and the flour and the eggs and the oil for them. Then the Christian will say that mixture is the body of Christ. That the practice of Holy Communion was given to us by the same sources that gave us name of the Father, Son, and of the Holy. They are the ones responsible even for Holy Communion to symbolize everything that faith should represent. So it's actually robbery. They gave you that to rob you of the faith. They gave you symbols to replace the faith, which is a disservice to the work of Christ. They call it Holy Communion. Ask them, show me anywhere in the Bible there's a combined name Holy Communion. It's not in the Bible. It's not there. So why should I be engaged in extra biblical practice? And if it is the Passover that they're trying to say, well, the Passover was not communion. It started in Exodus chapter 12 and 13. It is a ceremonial practice of Jewish people. Moses gave it to Jews. Passover feast is a feast in Israel where they have unleavened bread. Unleavened bread represented lack of sin, sinlessness in the camp. Then he asked them to kill a male lamb, spotless, to put the blood on the doorpost. And over the years, it was made a ceremony of drinking wine. And listen carefully, there are supposed to be 4 cups in a Passover. How many cups? 4 cups. Number 1 is the cup of redemption. Number 1 cup represents redemption. Number 2 cup represents deliverance. Number 3 cup represents sanctification. Number 4 cup represents restoration. I did exhaustive teaching on the cups in Soteria season 2, the legal and vital work of salvation. I did exhaustive teaching on these 4 cups of the Passover. That's why it will appear that the rendering of Luke and Matthew were different, because 2 of them were talking about 2 different cups. That's why their rendering sounded different, because there are 4 cups and they chose to talk about 2 different cups. But I think we Pentecostals like 1 cup with 1 small wafer that before it touches your tongue it has disappeared. I went to one church, they said they are doing communion service, that they will give me my own. I said, me, I want a full loaf of bread because I'm hungry, right? If it's not a full loaf, don't bring it here, because if I'm going to eat the body of Jesus, I have to eat a big chunk. So bring a complete loaf so I can carry it. And I don't know if you remember, we went to one place like that. I just remembered it. When they brought the communion, I just took a full bread because they wanted it to be broken. And then I was to pray and bless it. After I prayed and blessed, I took 1 bread. That time, I didn't know what I know now. But somewhere in my head, I knew that if this is the body of Jesus that we're all going to eat, I have a right to take a big portion. Why economize Jesus? He is our collective property. Let's go share it well. You can't receive Christ and be eating bread. You can't receive Christ and be drinking Ribena. You can't receive Christ and be carrying olive oil around. All those are in the worship of angels. Somebody say, but I ate it and I had a miracle. Angels, don't they produce miracles? The Holy Communion is not in the Bible. So where did they get Holy Communion from? The only thing that is close to it is the Passover feast. But don't forget, the Passover feast is one of those feasts that Moses gave to the children of Israel when their hearts were hardened to the gospel. All the feasts were pointers to what Jesus will do. So that since they don't want to hear what he was teaching them concerning the Christ, let them be celebrating some feast. Per adventure in the process, the message will get in. So the Passover feast was a feast of Jewish people, and don't forget, it was a feast, so it was not just 1 cup of wine and 1 small bread. No, it was a big feast, not this poverty-stricken kind of thing they call Holy Communion, where even the bread, you are struggling to see where the bread is lying down in the. It was a major feast of the Jews, and they kept celebrating that until Jesus showed up. Why did Jesus do one with them? Because he came to fulfill it. So he did that one, and he said to them, this is the last time we will do this, until that day in my Father's kingdom. So if Jesus said they will do it in the Father's kingdom, in the resurrection we didn't see them do it. So which means in the Father's kingdom it was not going to be a physical thing, it was going to be spiritual.